Is Mr. Scanlon here. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make like an app that has some tabs at the bottom, and then you click on them and it takes you somewhere else. So if you imagine like just like the Facebook app, that's the one that I have in my hand right now. At the bottom, there's like a bunch of different tabs. Like one's for the news feed, the other's for friends, the other's for like Messenger, notifications, whatever. We're gonna have some tabs at the bottom of our app, and then you click on it and you go to like another screen kind of. And I'll explain how that works in a second here. So basically what you're gonna wanna do is get rid of this button again. And then first we're going to want to put the tabs in. So go to your CSS components and the Ionic framework, and you're going to want to go to tabs. So on the CSS components part, just go to tabs, and you can choose any one you want that. But I think I kind of like this one the best. So it's got like the icon and then the whatever it is like underneath it. So I'm going to copy this code. And then I'm going to go to the Ionic place and right underneath content. So you don't want that inside the content. Content is basically anything that's inside like the main frame of the app. Header is obviously the header. And then like this part right at the bottom between content and pane basically sits at the bottom of the app. It's like locked into position there. So if I were to put this right here, it like puts the, tabs, like it's actually kind of mixed with the nav bar, which we don't want. We want this thing like right here, so it pops up at the bottom, just like that. So let me space this out a bit. I got it on screen, right? And I can click on it. Nothing's happening because we don't have anything programmed in yet. But I'm gonna just kind of rename these. Home is fine. Favorites. I mean, that's fine, I guess, too. So, they're actually all fine. I'm not going to change the names. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in, right inside the content, I'm going to add in a div. And it's going to be an empty div, but it's going to have an ID on it called content. So what we're doing here is something that, what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe frowned upon by like people who develop with Ionic, because normally when you click on something, it's these are A tags here, so like you're supposed to click on something and it'll take you to like another link kind of inside the app. But we're going to do something a little bit differently. We're going to, when you click on something, we're going to generate new code that will go inside of this div, and you'll see what I mean in a second. So inside of the A tag here, for that home thing, we're going to say on click, and we're going to say go home function, parentheses, like that. And we're going to do it for each one of these. So on click equals go fave, parentheses, on click equals, and we're going to say go set, parentheses. So we got a couple functions here. And inside the JavaScript, we're going to define these functions. So we're going to say function go home, and then we're going to do that for each one. So we're just going to say function. Let's kind of get this over with. Go fave, parentheses, and the last one was function go set, I believe, right? Yeah. All right, so I got my functions here, and what we're going to do is inside of each one, we're going to say document.get element by ID, and we're going to target this content right here. So we're going to say content, and then I'm going to say the inner HTML is equal to, so the inner HTML of the content is equal to you are home, and then I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it inside these functions here, and I'm going to say you are in favorites, you are in settings, something like that. And now notice, like, if I click on something, it's gonna show up, but like nothing's showing up right here. So we're just gonna have like a default document deck element ID, and it's just gonna say you are home. So on default, we are at home, right? So if I click favorites, it says you are in favorites. If I click settings, it says you are in settings. If I click home, it says you are home. So here's how we're doing this basically. We're just like, so we got this div content, right? Which we made, which has nothing in it, and it's just waiting for something to be, you do something, and we're going to reset with our functions the inner HTML of the content div with whatever we're putting right here, okay? So if I actually go up here, I'm going to say var, H for home, and I'm going to use these like, there's these, so there's like regular quotes, there's double quotes, and then there's this third thing, which is right near the tilde sign, right above the tab, and it's like these like, I don't know, weird quotes or something. I'm going to use these because it's better for like development stuff, but feel free to use whatever you want. But in here, what I'm going to say is I'm going to say like, in caps, you are home, like that. And I'm just going to replace this right here with H. And I'm going to do the same thing right here. And you guys will see, like, if I click around, anytime I click back on home, it says you are home, all caps. So I can basically like take all of the HTML I want and put it inside of like just a variable up here, and then put the variable down here and not have to worry about typing in more stuff, so that every time you go back to favorites, oh, now it's different. Basically it's just a way of like separating the code out into different ways so that you can put things in that you want. Now I will say, again, if you ask anyone who like uses Angular to build Ionic apps, this is like crucifixion, because you never should be putting HTML inside of JavaScripts. But I'm like a React guy. So in fact, if you go to Google, this is just a kind of like a funny thing, React versus Angular. There's like a war going on with people who are on both sides of the coding world. So I'm like these guys. Other people would be like these guys. So React versus Angular is like a big thing these days. This is like a React style. Angular wouldn't really like this. You don't really have to know that, but it's just something I'd tell you anyways. All right, so I'm just going to finish this up here. I'm going to say var f is equal to, I'm going to use those quotes again, and then I'm going to say var s is equal to quotes again, and then I'm just going to expand these out real quick, and then replace each of these guys with the variables. So what I can do is I can go to like the CSS components, and I'm going to go and just like get whatever the hell I want basically. So I'm just going to grab like this form. It doesn't really matter. I'm just trying to show you guys that you can have this code inside there. So I'm going to paste this in, and I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to get some check boxes. That's fine, and that'll go inside of settings. And then I'm going to get some lists here, and this is fine like this, and paste this into the favorites thing. So we got some code pasted inside of H, F, and S. So basically the H is getting set. Remember, that's like the default one right here. And then we got like anytime we click on home, it's going to do the same thing. It's going to go to that same H. So home right now just has this code, which is like for inputs. Favorites, when you click on that, it goes to this code, which is the F here. And then settings, it goes to, this didn't actually make anything interesting. Hold on, this is bothering me. Hold on, I need a card or something. Yeah, this is fine right here. That didn't make anything interesting here. So I click on settings, and okay, so now we have like a card here or something like that. So basically, what I'm showing you guys how to do is to build an app where you can click on tabs at the bottom, and it like displays new content, right? So it's like you're clicking on tabs on a mobile phone and it's taking you somewhere else. Now, one thing I will say before I end this here, I'm just going to try and save this a million times because sometimes it doesn't save properly. One thing I want to show you guys is if you click on preview, hopefully this works, click on preview here, you're going to preview the app in this giant tab thing. Now there's two things you can do to test this out. If you grab the link at the top, in your browser, if you grab that like play.ionic.io or / whatever, if you grab that and you email that to yourself and then bring it up on your phone will actually have the app. Another way to do it is if you're in Google Chrome, just inspect the page and you can click on this like toggle device thing and it'll give you your app like in whatever kind of phone you want. So I'll use like Galaxy S5 or iPad or iPhone 5 or something like that, and it'll just kind of give you whatever you got. You can test it in here, or you can just test it right on your phone by using that link. So that's all I got for this video. Hope it was informational. What I'd like you guys to do for an assignment is add. So I got 3 panels down here. What I want you guys to do is I want you to first of all rename these panels. So like instead of home and favorites and settings, like change the name, change the icons at the bottom here, which you can do that by going to utility and then going to icons here. And there's like if you click on like Ionicons, you can get like the code for new icons and stuff. Change the icons and then also add a 4th panel onto this. So it's a lot of work, but you guys can handle it. So. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching.